Chris Parker on your right, Cleveland scene. Kevin, last year you obviously you couldn't do a lot of lifting during the off season. I know you did some after the games and that. I was wondering how that impacted the season, if that had an impact, and what working out with the Olympics at the Olympic facilities, what you hope to be able to accomplish with your body with that, and if one of the goals might be to make yourself a little bit better of a slasher since you're kind of playing outside and not as much in the posts.
Sure, I think more than anything, I mean, the beauty of this game, the beauty of professional sports and in our everyday life is we have an opportunity to get better. And a lot of that is seen throughout the off season. Last year, as you guys saw, I had to come back from an injury and deal with a torn labrum and a shoulder that took 6 to 8 months to recover from. And I didn't even get on the court and do contact until October, so I'm way ahead of the 8 ball on that, way ahead of the game, and even being out there last week, brushing up against the guys, it was just a lot different. Getting off on definitely the right foot as far as training went this off season, and actually being able to train my upper body in the off season was huge for me. So that was something that you almost take for granted, but it was great to be able to do. I spent a lot of time in Park City, Utah, just working on my body. I think like everybody after a long run, and we're looking forward to hopefully another one.
Kevin, Greg Swartz, Bleacher Report. You said you went back to Park City. You went there last year for your elevation training. What were some of the new elevation trainings that you could do with a healthy shoulder? And after the stop, is your goal to win Defensive Player of the Year this year?
I don't know if I'll ever be in that consideration in Defensive Player of the Year. No, I think it definitely helps me add to my game when I'm able to, work on my body. I know that with this team especially, we have so many seasoned veterans, guys that have played, 10 plus, 12 plus, 15 plus years in this league. So, a lot of it is maintenance, taking care of yourself and finding different ways that you're going to be able to impact the game while balancing in basketball as well, because at the end of the day, that's what we come to work to do. But this offseason was a lot different for me only because, I was able, last year I wasn't able to even lift a 15, 20-pound dumbbell above my head. So a lot of, different lifts thrown in and a lot of stuff to help balance out my body to become stronger.
David Glazier from the News Herald and Morning Journal. I'll ask you a variation of the same question I asked Kyrie. I asked him if a day had gone by in the offseason without somebody mentioning the shot. He immediately put it in the context of the block, the shot, and the stop. And I'll ask you that same question. How often in the offseason did someone come up to you and reference the stop? And what has it meant to you to get recognition now for a defensive play when, not to mince words, you made your reputation in this game scoring the ball?
I was did a lot of reading in this off season, and somehow I came across a line that said it's not always the biggest part. Sometimes it's the most memorable. And so for me to have an impact, and try to stop one of the best players in the world and 2-time reigning MVP, unanimous MVP, it was a moment I knew that. It could all come crashing down if I didn't get the stop, but if I did, I could, make a big impact on the game. And, I was balanced enough to keep my feet down, and he threw everything at me, Steph Curry, and got the ball back. I don't know why I let him get the ball back, first of all. But I kept my feet down and made a big play. So, I got asked the question, do you go back and watch that play? And tell you the truth, I really haven't. The two plays that I look at are that unbelievable play of the year block that LeBron had, and then shut up. I was kidding. LeBron's unbelievable block, and then Kyrie's ice in his veins, cold-blooded three that he had to really put us ahead and keep us ahead. So those two plays stick out in my mind when I look back and see the game. I remember those two plays. They're huge for us.
Kevin, Hayden Grove, Cleveland.com. Last season, obviously, it was the longest season you've ever been a part of, and you said you trained a lot in the offseason. Does that kind of worry you that maybe this season it's going to be more difficult for you to be able to last again an entire season the way that you did last year?
No, I mean, I ask some of the guys, like for example, like a Kevin Willis, I go, how'd you stay so long in the league? How did you keep your body the way it is, the way it was, in order to play so many years? And he said a lot of it was making sure I did my due diligence with my body, got all the proper treatments I needed, but also he had a funny reference. He said I would eat that iron. So he stayed in the weight room and continued to work on his body. So I think from a health standpoint, I feel great. It's maybe the best I've felt coming into a season health-wise. And, we were you have to be a little bit lucky. I mean, you saw at least, my first year I was here, Bron came back the first year. We fought that battle of staying healthy throughout really the entire year, but the playoffs. And, last year we didn't necessarily have that too much. So, knock on wood, that stays the same, and we're able to have a healthy lineup throughout, because having that depth only helps us in the long run.
Kevin, Jordan Zern with Stack.com. Just want to talk a little bit more about the workouts you guys had with LeBron and the team in Santa Barbara. And we saw him on Snapchat kind of making fun of you doing the dance move with the lateral movements. But how does that go? Are you guys doing your own specific workouts and it's all together? Is there a kind of specific regimen you guys are all kind of going through? Just kind of what are those workouts been like?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, our leadership at the top as you guys have seen, has been great. And, just coming together and both on and off the court, getting on the same page to start is going to be huge for us. I mean, most of the guys we have back lost a couple of key players to free agency, but also added a few big pieces for us. So I think more than anything, it was just a chance to bond for us. Some guys kind of doing their own thing in the weight room, maintenance-wise, and then getting on the court. Knowing that we couldn't really have any of the coaches out there, kind of made up our own thing, did some 3-on-3, 4-on-4, a lot of skill work, a lot of drill work, but knowing that we're going to have a month to prepare for this big season coming up.
Kevin, Rick Nolan from the Medina Gazette. Real simple question for you. After all those years of not even making the playoffs in Minnesota, how does it feel to wake up every morning now and know you're an NBA champion and that's never going to go away?
Well, Coach K actually said something to me after 2010 and 2012. 2010 saying nobody can ever take away you being a world champion, and 2012 nobody can ever take away you being Olympic champion. So it felt a lot like that. But playing for your country is one thing, but also the biggest stage here. You grow up, wanting to make a big play in the final minutes of a Game 7, and going up against such a great team in the Warriors, and the season that they had, season that we had, there was just so much weight in that moment. Just guys being able to make plays in that entire second half in Game 7 sticks out in my mind. So it feels great to wake up every day and be a champion. I'm sure ring night will really be something. I know the fans are super excited. We're very excited as well, but we're not going to stop here.
Cool. Nope. I'm sorry, Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Some of your teammates have been pretty opinionated about the Colin Kaepernick protest and what he's protesting. Do you have a opinion on it?
I think more than anything, it's the commentary and making people more aware about what's going on is huge for this country and around the world. I think everybody has a right to their opinion, but also if you're not aware and seeing what's going on, then you're not paying attention. I mean, I think most people feel that they should be pretty disgusted with what's going on, and we need to be better as a country and as a whole. Thank you.